The Central Asian Report is a program about the ongoing geopolitical trends and the panorama of the present-day realities in Central Asia.
Politics, economics and culture, events, trends and people. All this on one territory. Hello, you're watching the Central Asian Report in today's program. Time to make history. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is entering the global arena. Mother, a word that sounds safe. Countries of Central Asia are improving their positions in the rating on the well-being of mothers. A priceless document. Our correspondents measure their level of influence of a Kazakhstani passport. Reformatting journalism. Media professionals discuss the idea of a Eurasian media space. A summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization was held in Ufa in July of this year. Within its framework, important and more importantly, historical decisions were adopted. For the first time in 15 years, it was decided to increase the number of members of the organization. Commencement of the accession procedure of India and Pakistan was announced. Leaders of the current 6-member countries also agreed to raise the status of Belarus to observer. In addition, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cambodia and Nepal became dialogue partners. Our correspondent analyzed the organization's development strategy until 2025 and the Ufa Declaration. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a multifunctional structure which entails a number of key vectors of cooperation. Aside from the main goal, regulation of borders, another priority of this organization is regional security. The SCO's goals are to counteract threats of terrorism, separatism, extremism, drug trafficking, and illegal arms trade. Right now, the organization is attempting to work out a new agenda with issues of economic cooperation coming to the forefront. In order for the economy to work, mechanisms have to be put in place. First of all, this means having a bank, an account, in order to finance projects. The summit's concluding documents include a decision on improving programs of cooperation of the organization's member countries in the fight against risks that threaten stability and security in the region. In my opinion, a strategy on ensuring security in the SCO space should have been adopted first. It should be determined what exactly are the threats that we're facing. According to experts, the SCO has reached a breaking point in its development, and this is connected with the accession of India and Pakistan, as well as integration of the organization's member countries into China's concept of a new Silk Road. I'm actually against the idea of getting the SCO involved in this project. In essence, these are different projects. Fast rise in the number of member countries is one of the trends of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Following India and Pakistan, the question of Iran's accession have become also relevant. Fast-paced expansion is sort of a challenge for the organization's member countries, and this process has its own specificities. Each new member country brings its own problems to the organization, including its problems with other countries. Despite some concerns, it must be admitted that the Shanghai Cooperation Organization has asserted itself as one of the influential players on the current arena of international relations. This will allow it to transition to a new level. Mother. This word should not only evoke feelings of pride, but also security. Research of the Save the Children organization shows quite a disparate position of Central Asian countries in terms of the well-being of mothers. Our correspondent analyzed how to make motherhood less challenging in the region. According to international experts, the best countries for having children in Central Asia are Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. They were ranked 58th and 60th respectively. The most unfavorable country is Tajikistan, which was ranked 127th.
An index that should be interpreted with caution, certainly not overinterpreted, and mostly be used as a food for thought for both policymakers, the civil society, the society at large, as to what needs to be changed so that mothers and children feel more comfortable.
The positions of Central Asian countries in the rating of well-being of mothers are quite disparate. Specialists explain that in some countries of the region, the use of perinatal health technologies has commenced only recently. This is a whole set of measures, from prophylactic and diagnostic to care for prematurely born. This is a whole set of technologies. They're being implemented across the entire post-Soviet territory, particularly intensively in the Central Asian region. We can already see positive results in the use of innovative technologies. Particularly in Kazakhstan, according to official data, in the last 5 years, maternal mortality decreased by more than 3 times. In 2015, the maternal mortality ratio was 11.8. Therefore, if before 40 out of 100 women died of pregnancy-related causes, then today this number is down to 12.
Kazakhstan, at least to the best of my knowledge, is the country that has registered the most significant decline in the maternal mortality ratio over the past 4 or 5 years.
Because Kazakhstan holds a leading position in terms of maternal health in the region, a lot of master classes are being held here with the participation of specialists from Central Asia. Health professionals from Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan and Tajikistan have an opportunity to exchange knowledge and experience.
There's
complete exchange of the information and new technologies that we've been able to implement here. Experts acknowledge that conditions for maternal health have been significantly improved in Central Asia. Advances have been made in the material and technical base of obstetric facilities, as well as air medical services. In addition, medical professionals are provided with opportunities to study in the leading universities of the world. A lot of our specialists have received advanced training on par with European and international standards. There's still a lot to be done to improve conditions for motherhood. What is important is to remember that future mothers just need help making the childbirth process natural. And as obvious as it may seem, future mothers arrive to the hospital with the intent of giving birth to a healthy baby.
A
passport is not only one of the most important documents of any citizen, it is also a sort of a mini-chronicle filled with stamps and visas, allowing to spot an experienced traveler right away. But in the era of globalization, stamps become a thing of the past, and the value of a passport also becomes determined by the number of borders that its holder may cross without requiring a visa. A passport is one of the most important documents for every person. This document determines where we can go, for how long, and how we will be treated in a particular country. Kazakhstan has a certain image, but honestly I cannot say that it is known all across the world. We can mostly speak about countries that are closer, like the countries of the CIS, that are closer neighbors, for example China, Turkey, countries with which we collaborate and have quite a dynamic flow of exchange, whether this concerns the sphere of business, tourism, trade or other areas. In this case, a Kazakhstani passport holds the greatest authority in Central Asia. This was the conclusion made by a well-known financial consulting company in Canada. In their research, passports of 198 countries were studied. The main criteria of the level of influence of a particular passport is the number of countries that its holder can enter without needing a visa. For Kazakhstan, this number is 65. In the overall list are countries in 53rd place. Following Kazakhstan in the rating is Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan.
И отношение к паспорту, на мой взгляд, складывается из 3 основных моментов. Это прежде всего отношение самого гражданина.
In my opinion, the value of a passport is determined by 3 main factors: the attitude of a person towards this document, the fact that they are a citizen of a given country, and therefore are proud of and cherish the passport. The second factor is the attitude of the state towards its citizens. And the third is probably the advantages that a passport offers to its holder.
Это те привилегии, которые дает паспорт, конкретно национальный паспорт его носителю.
The passport of Andrei Almazov, a traveler and conqueror of volcanoes, almost has no free space for visas. The whole document is filled with stamps. They document the hard-to-reach places where he has traveled, such as the South American Andes and countries of Oceania. According to the traveler, Kazakhstan is sometimes associated as having the youngest capital in the world, but there are also other odd instances when the country is associated with a movie, even if its plot, events, and heroes are fictional. For example, I was in Papua New Guinea, and when I showed my passport upon leaving the country, the border guard simply said, "Borat, I know the comedian from your country." Sociologists assert that a country's image is first of all created by brands and people, and Kazakhstan is no exception. The world knows about Kazakhstan thanks to Nursultan Nazarbayev, the Baikonur, the Astana cycling team, and the boxer Gennady Golovkin. The characteristics of a Kazakhstani passport continue to be improved. Soon it will contain biometric information in order to comply with the best world standards. And that means that the light blue passport will allow its holders to discover new countries without visas and other unnecessary formalities. Journalism has long been relegated to the list of professions with little promise. Some experts forecast that journalists as a class may simply disappear. Despite all this, we're not giving up and instead are searching for new ways of modern communication and new channels of interaction with readers. Our correspondent enrolled in a summer school for journalists held at the shores of the Issik-Kul Lake. How to write in a way that is interesting, what modern communication methods to use to expand one's audience, and how to find a niche on the media market. Answers to these and many other questions were given during a summer school for journalists that was held by the Issik-Kul Lake. The organizer of the school is the Center for Humanitarian Research Media Sphere of the Kazakh National University named after Al-Farabi and the Association of Kazakhstan's Journalists. It is very symbolic that this type of a media school is being held here at the Issik-Kul Lake, at the schoolhouse of the Kazakh National University. Journalists, as one of the more active members of the society, are interested in a variety of issues, from how direct is their communication with their audience to how to disseminate information. Dissemination of information is very important in journalism. This is one of the reasons why I chose this specialization. Participants of the third journalism summer school are those who had just recently graduated and today are already learning the ABCs of the trade. What's more, it is not only well-seasoned professors from Kazakhstan who are teaching here, but also their colleagues from Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. The main aim of me coming here is to listen to the lectures of reputable specialists. The main trend of the summer is Eurasian integration. A massive zone of cultural integration is happening on this territory, and the first and more important instrument of formation of a common consciousness is mass media. Journalists will be entrusted with the task of explaining to lay citizens the goals and tasks of this Eurasian Integration Association, and not only by providing up-to-date information, but also spreading insightful and historical details. I think that alongside the Eurasian economic space, we have to create a Eurasian media space. Journalism has always been at the forefront of the social transformative processes. One just has to remember the 90s, when it was journalists that kept track of the geopolitical transformation of the post-Soviet space. And today, amidst the tough period of integration and disintegration, this trend is still the same. What's more, journalism is trending more towards citizen journalism, but still, just as a quarter century ago, answering the challenges of the day. You are watching the Central Asian Report. Until next time on Kazakh TV.